welcome and thanks for joining us in the spotlight today with Matthew Morrison. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
So Matthew, how did you get into riding and how's it changed your life?
I've been riding my whole life. My dad rides. He's been also riding since he was a kid. So I guess I sort of grew up with it. Been on ponies since when I can't remember. From probably 2 years old.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, the first time I rode was probably on one of my dad's horses, sitting on the saddle in front of him. Yeah.
Man. What is your daily routine as a rider?
My daily routine, well, since I've been here at the Moats, it's been wake up in the morning, same as Lawrence, sort of get on the horses early.
Try and get on at 7:30, but actually
get on at 8, yeah. I like to just get a feel for the horse in the morning, walk around, check, see how they're doing.
So do you also school twice a day or work them twice a day?
Yeah, our horses get a lot of paddock time, so it's not really necessary, but we do like to change things up a lot for them.
So you said you're staying with Lawrence. Why are you homeless? No, seriously, how come you're staying here?
So basically, I'm moving overseas, the same as Lawrence, but our whole family is emigrating. So we moved out of our house 3 weeks ago, and I've sort of just been boarding here with Lawrence as we're going together.
It's a terrible place to stay. I mean, it's just deeply unattractive. And really, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, no, it is lovely here. I've really enjoyed it. So basically, we're just getting to know each other, and yeah, our horses are in quarantine together. So we've been spending a lot of time together and just getting things.
And which horse have you got in quarantine?
So I've got one Rivendell's Chancellor, and my dad's also taking a horse, Rivendell Numerology.
All right. Who have been your coaches over the years?
Yeah, I've had quite a few coaches. When I was young, it was Jean Sonderup. She was just up the road, so I used to hack there on my pony in the afternoons after school. That was nice. It was a very relaxed, fun yard. Learned a lot about the ponies and just having fun with the sport, caring about the pony aspect. And
so did you do mucking out stables and stuff like that as a kid, or was that done for you?
It's been done for me. But
Can you muck out a stable?
I can muck out a stable, yeah. I've been involved in the horses and I like to be involved. So I sort of know everything. Well, not everything, but I suppose I could take care of my own horses. Yeah. From Jean, I moved on to Tamar Glixman. She was more competitive. It was when we moved houses, actually. She was a bit closer, so I trucked down to her. And that was my pony career. I didn't have anything else, didn't have much of a pony career. When I moved on to horses, I went to Barry and Lorette Taylor. Lorette was really good with learning different things about the horses, the bits, the taking care of the horses, bandaging them, that sort of stuff, your position, all of that, whereas Barry was more the feel, get in there, go do your job, go ride, go jumper clear. So that was really good. And then I've been training with my dad since then. Yeah, so he's been a really good coach for me. It's really nice to have that one-on-one. So it's not just when I go for my lesson, it's every morning when we wake up, ride together, chat about things, and in the evenings as well. It never stops between us.
Non-stop, like 24/7, 365.
Yeah, so I find you learn a lot that way.
Who's your favourite rider?
Internationally?
Internationally, local?
Internationally, I would say Ben Mayer. He came out to South Africa, I can't remember the year, but I was quite young, still on ponies, and he rode in the Derby here on, I think, Chad Cunningham, one of his horses. And it's really great just to see how humble he was. He never jumped horses big at home. He sort of jumped maybe 120 just to get a feel of the horse, not to test the horse. If he made a mistake or something happened, he would always come back to us, and he was like #1 in the world at that stage, would come back and just be like, okay, I'm sorry, this happened, what do you guys think? And I'll do this next time to get it better. Locally, I think Jonathan Clark is a really good rider, just purely,
I think he's okay. He's amazing.
Purely on the fact that it's just so much feel. It's not controlling the horse. And yeah, obviously the flat work is good, but he just he gets in there and he just does it.
Who are the people that have helped you most in life to get to this point? I think I know what you're going to say.
My parents, obviously, yeah. They've been wonderful, really just giving me all the opportunity. My he's been really great, just always helping me and motivating me, and whenever you feel down or something, they understand the sport, which really helps. But yeah, my grooms, obviously they play a big role. Maliro, he's been with our family since I was shorter than him, now it's the opposite way. It's just, he's always there, no matter where I am, he's there. And I can ask him for advice even, he will tell me exactly, and he's quite like this, so he's got no filter. So it's really good.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
When you go into the ring before you're competing, do you have any motivational quotes in your mind, or what particular mindset?
I wouldn't say I have a motivational quote, but definitely just go in there, have fun. That's what we're here for. It's a sport at the end of the day. We're here for the horses, the love of the sport. But yeah, just forget everything. We train at home, and that's where our training is. Once you get into the ring, just get in there, fight, and do it,
And are you one of the riders that just shuts off and everything fades away, or do you, like Lawrence, hear everything going on around you?
No, I'm more of a rider that doesn't hear anything on the sides, yeah.
So if you're going the wrong way and someone's screaming, you turn right, you wouldn't hear
I might hear that,
Along with a bit of swearing, probably.
Yeah, but generally, if it's a big class and I'm really focused, then yeah, I'll focus on what I'm doing.
Okay. So most of us learn, I think, our biggest lessons through faults or mistakes that we've made. Would you say that's true of you, or is it success that has actually taught you the most?
Yeah, I think we continue to learn every day. That's a nice thing about the horses. You learn from every horse. Every horse is different. So I think, yeah, I've learned a lot from failures, because I don't know, we need, in this sport there's a lot of failures, so you need to, once you know how to fail and go in there thinking, okay, like there's a bigger picture, then I think, yeah, you learn a lot.
If you could change one thing about your riding career, is there anything that you would change?
Probably not. Being in the sport for a long time with my family, and horses have just been there in my life since I've been alive, and I don't think I would change anything. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the South African equine industry. Is there anything that you would change about that, if you could?
If I could? Yeah, I probably would. There's a lot that we do right, but there's a lot that we can also improve and learn from. Internationally, they do a lot for the horse, which we here, I find we do probably more. We care about our horses and we give them the time they need. But I do think on our young horses, we could really focus a lot more in depth on schooling them correctly and starting them. With the warm bloods, they don't naturally know how to go forward. The thoroughbreds, which is great for learning on, which we in South Africa are very lucky to have, because they know how to go forward, and that's what we, with our warm bloods, sometimes tend to not teach them, is go forward. That's the first thing. Then I would say, yeah, just more focused on the schooling and production. Maybe more production of more young horses would be really great for our sport.
You were saying earlier that we probably put in similar riding hours and time with our horses, but that they produce them with more productively with the time.
Yeah, I think Lawrence touched on it a little bit. Yeah, we think they ride their horses from a lot earlier of an age, but we ride them the same amount. I think we just stretch it out more. But what I find is they teach their horses from the beginning the correct way. And it's obviously just experience. They've had the experience of doing it. And I think you end up not riding the horse as much or as rough and tough when they know from a young age the correct way of going. So in the end, you probably do save yourself a few hours of schooling.
And what horses do you have at the moment?
So this is a bit of a tricky one because I'm heading overseas now. So we've sort of sold up all of the horses that we had here.
Okay, how many did you have? How many were you riding to get to this point as you launch yourself internationally?
I was riding 6 or 7 a day. I had horses from Henning Pretorius at Capital Stud, as well as Rivendell Stud in Cape Town that I was riding and producing horses for. And then we had a few thoroughbreds that I got off the track and produced up, as well as the odd young horse here or there. But currently I've got Rivendell Chancellor, as well as my dad's horse Numerology that are currently in quarantine. And then we've got 2 exciting young horses overseas already, which I really want to get to now,
Yeah.
you know, and get on them. One is a 4-year-old mare by For Pleasure out of a Quintessential line. She's really special. I think she'll be one to look out for. And then we've got another one, a 5-year-old gelding by Dakar VDL, out of a Campbell VDL mare, his mother is the sister to Glenfiddich VDL, who's a approved stallion overseas. So that's really, I'm excited for them.
I'm sure. Is there any horse or pony that has taught you the biggest lesson though? Is it all been, we all learn a lot from all of our horses, but is there anyone that stands out that's taught you the greatest lessons?
I think we do learn a lot from our horses, and every day we learn something new. But yeah, I think I've had a great deal of different horses, which has been really good for my riding.
Yeah.
So you can get onto a lot of different horses and get a feel for the horse and go.
And not have a panic attack going, this is nothing like I'm used to.
Yeah. So I had a very hot and sensitive thoroughbred mare called 100 Runs. That she was my first junior horse, and we went from the 90 centimeters up to the 135s. And she taught me a lot of feel. You know, you can't really take a pull or think too much. You just have to think forward, land off the fence, look at your next fence, and just keep going. Whatever
it's
she
hard,
does.
isn't it? A lot of people do take a horse going forward a lot. A lot of people do take that pull, whereas
and you find they
let go with it.
Those sensitive ones do actually like a lot of leg, just to support them, let them know that things are okay. And then I've had Chancellor, who I produced now up into the 150s. He's my first 150 horse, so it's been really nice to gain that relationship with him and now be there at the top level together, learning as we go along. And then I've also had some horses like maybe Capital Conlank that have been really great for me, because you have to learn how to pick your classes. You know, you can't go out and try and win every class. You got to feel how the horse is on the day and sort of take it from there.
Obviously, having ridden so many horses, if you're going to go and buy a horse now, which, okay, you've done, but if you're going to go and buy another horse now, what would you look for in that horse?
I think there's a lot you can look for. I think it's confirmation is quite a big thing. A thing that I've learnt literally in the last week is that I looked at a horse and I thought, wow, this horse is really nice. And then I showed it to someone and they pointed out a few things that I was like, oh wow, and they're like, the horse isn't gonna, you know, it's gonna go lame at a stage. I think.
No, the person's a bit too upright and stuff like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
the hock was quite low and just a few things. And I think that's something that I would now focus on a lot more. But I would pick probably an intelligent horse. I think that's intelligence, rideability, and care is what you need for the sport these days.
You've obviously had quite a lot of highlights thus far. Is there anything that stands out for you as like, wow, that was incredible?
Yeah, I think in 2018 was a really good year for me. We planned to go to Junior SA Champs in Port Elizabeth, and there was a big build-up for it, and I took 2 horses to jump in the main class, where I ended first and second.
Oh, wow.
So that was an unbelievable memory for me, just because of the plan, and that was what we were going to go and do, and we thought about everything clearly, and we went out, did it, and yeah, it worked in our favor.
Yeah, I'd say so, first
Yeah.
and second.
Yeah, but there's so many. Last year was also a great year. Going now into the 150s, I was new in the level. Chancellor and myself, we won the 145 series overall, so we were quite consistent throughout the year, and we finished third in a 150 Grand Prix towards the end of the year. That's probably one of my biggest highlights so far as well, just being in the lineup with the likes of Kelly O'Connor, Barry Taylor, all the big names.
So this is a really exciting time for you. You're just about to go overseas. So what are your dreams for the future?
My dreams for the future. That's a tough question. I think just to go out there, learn from all the top riders, learn from everyone, just the aspects of the horse, the sport, everything. I would obviously love to compete in the Nations Cups for South Africa.
Are there any riders that you would love to compete against?
Marcus Enning would be. I wouldn't like to compete against him because it would probably show how good he is. But yeah, I would love to just be there with the big names and trying to show who I am.
There are a lot of people watching this who are aspirational, want to ride better, want to be more effective. Is there any piece of advice that you can give anyone?
Yeah, I think it would be to learn as much as you can from everyone. Never think you are too good or don't need to listen to anyone. You can listen to, everyone's got a great piece of advice. And with the internet and Facebook and everything these days, you can really learn. I mean, during lockdown, there were so many videos of the top riders giving tips. I followed Horsesport Ireland, and they had a training video from each of their top riders in their high performance squad, just on training and what they're doing now during this tough time. And I think you can never learn enough. That would be my advice.
Following the videos, what do you think about the Quintessential rider platform?
Yeah, I think it is a great platform. Again, like I said, learning from everywhere. This is what it's about. You can learn from all the different riders. You don't have to stick to one way of going or one person. Each horse is different. Every rider can give a different piece of advice. I think it's a great platform to learn from.
Matthew Morrison, thank you for joining us in the Spotlight. We have been in the Spotlight with Matthew Morrison, and we'll catch you on the next video.